Hello everyone, it's Julie from Camelia Crafts Designs. Welcome and welcome back. What am I up to today? Well, I'm going to be making a little journal, a December daily type journal or just a Christmas journal, whatever you want to use it for. And I'm making it as part of the A to Z Christmas Challenge that's been hosted by Rachel at Rachel and Bella Crafts in conjunction with Rose at Journals in Time. And if you've seen anyone else's videos, you'll have an idea of how this works by now. If you haven't, I'll just quickly explain. Rachel's hosting the collaboration. She's involved lots of other YouTubers. And everyone involved has been assigned a letter of the alphabet. My letter is J. And this gorgeous kit that Rose has designed has an inspiration page for each letter. So this is mine. I've got some gorgeous journal cards. And I'm guessing the theme is Jingle Bells. Yeah, I didn't need to be mastermind to work that one out, did I? And it also came with another background paper. And yeah, it's Jingle Bells. J, J, J. Yeah, I think I've got an easy letter J. Because it's Julie, that's my name. Junk Journals, that's my game. And Jingle Bells, yeah. So anyway, stop being silly and crack on. So I'm going to make a very easy, very basic junk journal that you can use, as I've said, as a December daily or just a journal. Now I'm going to use a few elements from here. I did print another, there are some background pages in the kit. If you pop over to Rachel's video, I've got that linked on my community page as well. She goes through the whole kit. So you can use the kit or not. Use what you've got. I've been saying that for a long time. Use what you've got. You don't have to use exactly what I'm using. If you've got it, all well and good. If you haven't, use something else. So I'll just put those to one side for a bit and I'll show you my big box of junk. It's not junk. So in case you're wondering why the title is Julie's, I can't remember what I've decided to call it and I haven't done it yet because I'm filming. Julie's Junky Christmas Scrap Fest. Don't forget the S. So I've been through all my old Christmas bits and I've got loads of bits and bobs that are left over from past projects, from past years. So this is why it's called Scrap Fest, because I'm going to be pulling from these rather than cracking out any new stuff. I don't know what that is. Ooh, don't know what I'm saying. I've also got some Christmas cards, because I never throw a Christmas card away when I can use it. I love that one. So thank you, whoever gave me that. Who gave me that? Maureen. Thank you, Maureen. And that's one that's a bit gaudy, but I'm liking that. I may not want to use that, but I like that. I've got some part paper pads. I've even got some stuff from when I used to do a lot of stamping and hand colouring with pro markers. I used to love doing that. Yeah, so cute. I'll be using a lot of these elements within the journal. So I'll probably show a couple of videos of me filling it other than just the making it today. And this bag that I'm pulling from is what I am going to use for my cover. Yeah, what made me think of this was that lovely sheet that was part of Rose's kit with the checks. I'm sure I've got a check bag because I remember receiving this bag. And I remember my friend Marlene, the card was from Maureen, saying that she picked the bag knowing that I would use it in a junk journal. So look at all this lot. That's the rest of it. So Julie's Christmas Scrap Fest. Don't forget the S. So that's my big pile of scrap that I'm going to use. That is a big pile, isn't it? I could do with putting that in a removable box, because I feel a crafter lunch coming on. Now this is the bag. I'm just going to flatten this to show it you. It's one of those, yeah, buy flat Christmas bags. That side's a bit glary. That side is exactly the same but without the gold foiling. So this is the side I'm going to be using. I want to think of a way to incorporate this. I don't know if I can or not. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to cut the bag. So if you're going to make it from a bag, I'm going to cut it just down there. Yeah, I'm going to cut the bag in half basically. I'll show you I'm starting to cut, then I'm going to pause while I finish it, because I've got an idea. I'm going to knock my camera into the middle of next week trying to do this under my camera. Whee! We got a wee in, didn't we? So 2 ticks, and I'll just finish chopping around that, and I'm back. So I've cut this in half. Yeah, I've gone down the side, along the bottom, in the middle, and up the other side. So I'm left with this. So this is basically going to be the bones of my journal cover. And all I'm going to do is just fold it over. Yeah, it's going to be quite tall, but I'm not going to be too bothered about that, because that'll just give me more room to put some nice alter paper clips on top, or bits and bobs, or page tabs. Yeah, that might be an idea. Put some page tabs on the top rather than at the side. Yeah, I like that idea. So, right, how we're going to glue all this together. You can see basically how the bag's been made. What I'm going to do for now is I'm going to try and unknot this so that I don't lose any length off my ribbon. It might not happen. It might not occur. I might have to just cut it. I'm going to have to cut it. I know I'm still going to have enough ribbon left, so that don't bother me too much, because I want to use that as a closure. I think I might put an eyelet in there to reinforce it. You don't have to. It's obviously strong enough for this bag, so I think it might just be strong enough for a journal. I'm thinking we're going to have some pockets. I could have a pocket on bottom. That, could we keep it as a tuck spot? I really don't know. If you watch Coronation Street in the UK, it's like, I really don't know, Rita. Yeah, maybe you don't, and maybe you think this woman's gone crazy again. Right, so I'm going to start. I'm going to use my wet glue, because I think when you need wet glue. You could use dry adhesive, but I'd be worried about it popping open at a later date. And we don't want things popping open at a later date, do we? So I actually got my big bottle out for this. I'm using my art glitter glue. I buy it by bucket load now. I buy those big 1 litre ones and fill up. I'm saying I buy them. I'm still using the same one I bought over a year ago, because by decanting it into here I hardly use any. So that's that. I think I'm going to cut some off there. I'm just going to leave a border. Yeah, we don't want a top tuck as well as a bottom pocket, do we? So I'm going to do this by hand. I'm not going to be measuring and faffing. I've left yay much. And in case you're wondering how much yay much is, I'll measure it and tell you. Looks about 1 inch. Oh, yes, about 1 inch. Oh, I didn't tell you the size of this, did I? Well, I'm over measuring. What I do now is I think, right, that's the biggest piece of paper I want to put in this. If I've got enough room either side, so that when it's folded over, it's not going to hang out my journal, and if I've got enough room top and bottom, I'm happy. But I will tell you its size, because obviously you're not going to have the same bag as me if you have a bag at all. It's 10.5 inches high, and the width is 13, we'll say. Yeah, so I'm using A4 paper, which is 8 1/4 high and wide. I always forget how wide it is. 11 3/4, yeah. What's yours in US? 8.5 by 11, yeah. So you can use any bag. I happen to have got this checked one. There's a lovely checked paper that you could back any bag with. Or you could just have a craft bag. Leave it plain. Adapt it to what you've got. So yeah, that height's fine for me. So we've cut that off there. I'm going to carry on cutting up to here. Yeah, and I'm just going to leave a little bit on there, because I might tuck that in like that just to make it look a bit neater, so we've not got a raw edge. Yeah, I like that. Now this bottom one, I'm going to have a pocket on the back of the journal. I'm toying with the idea of turning this into a pocket on front. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to cut it here. Yeah. Did I cut it? Yeah, just down to that bit. I'm just going to cut along there to the corner, so that can go flat, and that, there we go. So that's the front pocket. I quite like that idea. That's our top. And I don't think I'm going to cut that because it's a messy. So let's make our centre crease. Can you tell I'm making this up as I go along? That was my intention, because I've only got one bag, haven't I? It's not like I can make a prototype, is it? But I knew roughly in my head what I wanted to do. I've had this bag for a few years, and I knew it were going to end up as a journal one way or another. So I'm just butting those edges together and creasing it. And there you go, that's my... I know we've got a creased out front, but I'm going to cover that with some ribbon or something. So yeah, what I want to do now is I'm going to cut that from the centre crease down to about 1 inch again. And I'm just going to cut along there to get rid of this piece, because we just don't need it in as lives, do we? I'm only keeping a little lip on it all. I know this is very close to camera. I'm just keeping a little lip on it so that we've got a nice, neat top and bottom edge. So there we have that. Right, this bit I'm going to cover. I may just put some ribbon on to make it a nice edge. I don't know yet. That is going to be a pocket. So that's looking a little untidy, isn't it? So I'm just going to take a sliver off. I'm not even bothering getting trimmer out for this. Use your paper trimmer, use what you've got. I'm very free and easy today. That's that. And I'm just going to make sure we've got enough glue there so that that sticks down nicely. And we're not going to miss the pocket when we try and put things in. I've put a lot on, so I'm probably going to squidge out top here, but I want glue right to edge. There you go. That nicely does it. Now this top one I'm going to glue down all the way across. Just put a bit in there. If you don't want that corner too bulky, in fact, yeah, let's do it. I'm just going to cut across there. Yeah, just takes a little bit of bulk out at corner. I could have took more out, but it's not a bad thing having that on corner. It'll strengthen that corner a little bit. I'm not used to making something this big on camera. I'm struggling to know whether I'm in shot. I'm going to pop some there and glue that flap down there. Then, yeah, so I don't know whether I'm trotting along up by good luck or judgment at the moment. I think it's a bit of both. Now, just to hold that while it sticks, I'm going to pop my bulldog clip on it. Yeah, and I think I've just bought a new box of bulldog clips. I don't know where they go. You start off with 10 and then you've got 1. And then I'm going to clip that. Yeah? Now this, what I should have done, you see how I've glued that to there? If I'd glued that bit to there, it would have given me better... Yeah, my pocket would have been a little bit sturdier, but yeah, up there for dancing. No, is it? No, it's up there for thinking, down there for dancing, isn't it? So I put a line of glue there. I'm going to put no, I'm not going to put a line there. I'll just put a little bit at top. In fact, no, I'll glue that bit. This is how you make it up as you go along. Because this is our lip, isn't it? I'm sure most of you have got these bags hanging about. They're one of them things that when you get a gift in a bag like this, you're like, oh, I'm going to keep that. I can do something with that. Well, I do anyway. So that's my pocket. I'm going to pop another bulldog clip on there. There we go, while that glues. Then I'm going to glue this bit here. I'm going to glue that bit to that bit. I mean, shot. Yeah. Someone asked me about my YouTube setup, about connecting phone and everything to computer. I don't do that. I have got a very basic setup and it suits me. Because it takes me such a long time to learn something new, I won't be changing it anytime soon. I use my phone, I edit on my phone, and I upload straight from my phone to YouTube. It's only when I come to have to put my description in and everything else that I use my laptop. Right, I'll put another clip on there. Yeah. Right, that's a bit, we're going to put something on that edge as well to tidy that up. So that is now basically our journal cover. Oh, I quite like that. I really do quite like that. Yeah. So, just make sure that's gluing. You tend to find when using quite stiff cardboard, you quite have to keep making it stick. Keep pressing it. Make sure it's doing what it's doing. That's why I've got these clips out. Right, while that dries, we're going to think what we're going to put on cover. Right, I've got these are technically journal cards, but I want to use some of these on my cover. I definitely want to use that. I'm hoping I've got a circle punch that is the right size for that. I'm going to have to fussy cut that on, so there's nothing for it. I've got to fussy cut it. Fussy cutting is just going to have to happen. And I'm going to use one of these. I'm drawn towards that one. I don't think I want the bright red. I want that one on the front. So I'm going to fussy cut that one, and that one, and I'll be back with you. And I'm back. I've fussy cut those two. I've fussy cut the J. And that was the perfect size for my 2.5-inch circle punch. So that was brilliant. So that's that. I've grabbed a button for the closure. I had a look through my coloured ones and none were right colour. So I've got this natural one. It says handmade with love. It's one of the larger ones. They're larger than the ones I put on my clusters. It's nearly 1 inch, that button. It's quite a big one. And to strengthen this front cover, you know, to stop that occurring, I've grabbed a piece of cereal box. This was Asda's own rice snaps, yeah. I could have used that, but it's still a little bit flimsy. You know what we use to strengthen the bottom of the bag? And I don't like the colour. So I have an extensive collection of cereal boxes, because I always save them. I just flatten them and save them, like you do. So I'm going to pop that in there. So luckily, I hadn't sealed that top one. I'd like to say it was judgment, but no, it was pure luck. I'll be honest with you, it was pure luck. I could have perhaps done this easier if I'd not sealed the bottom one, but I have. Now I'm just going to pop it in there up to where, just short of where the spine's going to be on the journal. Yeah, so round about there. But before I stick that in, I'm going to pop my button on that I'm going to use for a closure. Now I also want the front of the journal to be strengthened where I'm going to pop that button. So I'm just going to cut a random piece of card. I'm going to use another bit of the cereal box. Come back, cereal box. I chucked them on the floor. See, this was yeah, one of them will do. I think I want that bit. Oh, I don't want that crease. Don't matter what size it is. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to apply glue to that, and I'm going to glue it inside the pocket just behind where the button's going to be. So get your glue on, woman. And that's just to strengthen it. So about there. I can feel through where the button is. Where the card is, should I say. Yeah. Right, I'm going to grab my little... I've got a teeny tiny little mat that I use for stuff. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to pop it in there. And now, yeah, I can feel where that card is. And I'm just going to put some holes so that I can sew the button on. And I put the mat in, obviously, so it don't go through onto there. If you don't glue that first, you won't have this problem. But it's not a problem. It is a problem, but we've got a solution, haven't we? So it's not a drama. Right, I'm going to find my awl. Come here, the awl. Yeah, when I say I'm going to find something on camera, I'm then always like, oh, I hope I put it away. I did. I put it in my binding drawer. And my button, I want it about there, which is good because that's where I put that. And I'm going to use these lines to get them lined up. So that's gone through into my craft mat. I'm going to pop that on. That's where one hole is. And I'm just going to stab another hole. Just make it a little bit bigger. Doing that always helps. Wind it round. There we go. So there we have it. Have those holes gone through? Yes, they have. I can see them. So I'm going to grab a rather large needle now, and I'm going to try and pass that through the holes. Again, this would have been easier had we not sealed that bottom pocket, but we did, so we're going to have to live with that. If you watch me, you know it's not about getting it perfect first time. I quite often don't. So I feel it's really good to know what to do if you've done it wrong or done it differently to how you intended. Right, I'm going to use some waxed thread, I think, for this. I've got this brown one. That's what I've just popped my needle through the holes just to make sure it is going to actually go through. And I think I will actually leave enough so that I can tie a bow on the front. So I'm going to go in there, in one hole, there we have it, back out that hole. I don't always tie a bow, sometimes I finish it off behind the button, and then back up the other hole. Because this is wax linen thread and it's strong, I'm not going to go through again. There's no need. I don't need to. So just tie that off. I'm not going to make it majorly tight as well, because we want a little bit of wiggle room behind that button so we can loop our ribbon around it. So there we go. It's a little bit, you see, it's a little bit loose, but that's by design. Do I want a bow? No, I'm just going to cut it off, leave. Yeah, I think that's better than a bow. So that's our button closure. I'm going to grab my piece of cereal box. And just for speed, I know I said earlier that I don't like to use dry adhesive because I'm scared it'll pop off at some point. Well, this is a flat piece, and also, this is for me doing it on camera, and this journal's for me, so if this does pop off, I'll deal with that later. If I was selling this, I'd do it with a nice strong glue. But because I'm going to use it, I'm just using my dry adhesive. This is the same stuff you get in them tape runners, it's just on a bit of an industrial level. Melina uses hers all the time. I'd use mine more if I could get the tapes cheaper, but they're not very cheap in the UK. Right, so I'm just going to pop this in. This doesn't stick too well unless you press it, so you've still got a bit of wiggle room. I'm going to fold that up so I know where the centre is. I'm eyeballing the gap at the top and the bottom. You can probably see better than me. Just going to turn it sideways, see if it's straightish. Oh, straightish. Yeah, I know a lot of you like it when I say something straightish or gluedish or whatever. Well, do you know, when our clocks went back, were we leaving British summertime? Yeah. So the clocks went back an hour. So I had to take the kitchen clock off wall and move it back an hour. So I said to my youngest, Rachel, when I put it back up, I went, is that clock straight? She went, straightish. It's like, so I'm rubbing off on kids as well. Right, so that, oh, that's looking like a much better journal cover now, isn't it? Now the front's not wibbly wobbling about. Oh, I really like. And I'm going to grab my bit of ribbon. I'm going to pop that, which way? Yeah, pop it through that way. Then that will go around there to close it. So then we'll pop it back through there and then tie another knot. I want to come up with some kind of system whereby I can adjust that. I'm not going to tie it finally in place until we finish the journal and I know how fat it is, but I wish, yeah, if you know of a way so that I can temporarily anchor that, let me know, because I can't think of anything offhand. I might think of something off camera, you never know, so that we can adjust the length. I don't know. Maybe some kind of clip that, yeah, some kind of clip. Oh, do you know, did you ever have one of those belts? Did they call them snake belts in 80s? Where you had a clip and then you locked it and then you could adjust the size of your belt. I want something like that for there. Right, stop waffling, woman. So you've made the journal cover. Right, what's going in it? I didn't tell you at the beginning. So you can put anything you want in here. What am I going to put in it? Told you this journal were easy. I've just got 7 pieces of cartridge paper. This is cheap paper. You can buy this in Poundland in UK. You could last time I went in. And I've got 7 pieces. Why have I got 7 pieces? Because if you were to use this as a December daily, so you've got 1 day for each day of December, there's 20. Yeah, including Christmas Day, you've got 25, haven't you? Yeah. So 7 pieces, that's 1, 2, 3 and 4. So you can get 4 days out of each piece. So 7 sheets of paper equals 28. So you've got all the days up to Christmas covered. Then perhaps a couple of extra ones to put bits and bobs in for Christmas Day. So that is what I'm putting in. I'm binding it with twine. So let me get my twine. Very simple binding. Lots of reasons for this. 1, it's easy. 2, if you then want to add pages, you can. If you want to take your pages out to make them easy to decorate, you can. I'm going to put 2 lengths through, I think. So I've wrapped that round twice. The length you need will depend on the size of bag you've used, of course. Yeah, that should be enough. And then I'm just going to tie that in a bow. You can tie it on the outside, you can tie it on the inside. I mean, I'm always conscious I've got a lot of beginners that watch me. And it can be very daunting, I'm hearing, doing your first journal. I'm not saying that because I think I'm that good at and do them quick. Do you know the first journal I ever made, I'd signed up to do a swap. So I had time pressure. I couldn't put it off. I had to do it. I'd signed up to do a swap on a group. So, yeah. This is where a small child comes in handy while you tie this bow, just to lend a finger. Other people have given me ideas on what to do, and I absolutely take no notice. But do you know what? I'm going to do it now. I'm going to just clip that with a bulldog clip while I tie my bow. So the bulldog clip is replacing the small child's finger. So yeah, just crack on, get it done. You can make a cover out of anything. You can make your pages out of anything. I'm going to be using lots and lots of my Christmas scraps in this journal. Scraps, don't forget the S. So plain pages are not a problem. Oh, I like already. And do you know what? I don't think I'm going to do anything there. I'll probably I might put a photograph there. You never know, because that is such a nice cream for the inside of this bag. I don't think I need to do anything else. Yeah. Now, if you are going to buy the kit that goes along with this, there are numbers 1 to, I'm assuming 1 to 25. So if you're making this into a December daily, you could use those numbers. But you can use anything. Write them on by hand. Do anything you want. Right, so that's that. So it's starting to look a bit more like a journal, isn't it? It's beginning to look a lot like a journal. Sorry, I did promise not to sing. So that's that. We'll put that back on because we know what it wants to look like. Now the front. We've got that crease that's not very aesthetically pleasing, shall we say. So I've got my pieces from the kit that I printed out. I printed the bells. I went and printed that. That's one of the background pieces. And I also printed this. And I just want to, I was thinking maybe some ribbon, but I think another piece of ribbon when I've got one there might be a bit of overkill. I really like that. Do you know, because that didn't come back through. Oh, well, I think that, I'm not even going to tie that. That's my closure. I like it. We don't need to do a snake belt closure. Anyway, I digress. So I'm just going to build up some layers behind one of these two pictures. I can't decide on which one. I think that one, because it's a tall elongated journal and that's a tall elongated card, isn't it? Yeah. And I think because I've got that there and that there, I'm thinking I might want a bit of Hessian. So I'm going to grab some, 2 ticks. Right, here's my Hessian, my roller Hessian. What's Hessian? It sounds good, that, doesn't it? I don't know, it sounds like some kind of foreign word. Right, I want a piece of Hessian. I don't want to cover the whole journal, but I want it to be about yay wide. So I'm just going to snip it there, how wide I want it. And then I'm going to snip it down here at how long I want it. Do I want it all the way down? No, I think I want it just behind the picture. So I think I'll do it there. I can always cut it shorter if need be. I'm just going to grab my big Timmy scissors now to cut the rest of this Hessian. I'm not going to be too particular. I think the randomness looks better. I'm roughly cutting it straight. It's a bit like what Rachel said about my clock. It's straightish. I just love how she said that. It's like, I am so rubbing off on my children. Not a bad thing. I don't think anyway. So, ooh, button. We can't go too wide because the button's in the way. So we're gonna, I needed to make that narrower anyway because it's not the straight side. So let's do it there. We can go right up to the button with the Hessian. If you don't have any Hessian, a roller Hessian like me, I've put money on the fact that you've got one of them bag for life shopping bags made out of Hessian, haven't you? Yeah. Before I bought a roller Hessian, I cut quite a few of them up. Because I really do have enough bags for everyone's life. Yeah, there's enough bags for the life of me, my children, my neighbours. Because, yes, can you tell? I'm the type of person who forgets to take my bag with me when I go shopping. I like that. And I'm just going to take a thread or two off each side, just to make it look a bit rustic. And this is a very simple technique. I told you I'm not doing out rocket science in this video. I'm just working with what I've got. Oh, I like. Now that needs something else around it, doesn't it? I'm thinking maybe a piece of this red. Oh yeah, that sets it off nicely, doesn't it? And it ties in with my... Oh yeah, I like that. Should I do the bells? Don't second guess yourself too much, love. Oh, I do like the bells as well, and it is my sheet, the bells, isn't it? But I did have other plans for the bells. No, it's got to be the red. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to place this on. Yeah, I know it's checks, but that makes it easy for me to cut freehand because it's checks. I want to cut just to that side of the white bit. And I'm going to go up just before that white bit. I might as well cut all that off though, Anna. And don't worry about them other bits of Hessian I've wasted. They'll get put on my clusters. So we got that, we got that, and we got that. Now, I want something to cover the crease up. Or should we, like, do you know what? The crease isn't bothering me as much as it did. I think I could quite go with the crease. So I wanted to put my jingle bells near the bottom on that. Yeah. I think I'm going to round those corners because that journal cord does have slightly rounded corner. Not quite as rounded as I've done though, but if we put some ink on it, nobody will ever know, will they? What you don't know don't hurt you. But I don't think that saying still stands these days, does it? What you don't know don't hurt you. Because I don't like my kids, they want to know everything. Everything. If they don't know it, it's not worth knowing. I think I want to round these corners as well. I just do. I hope I haven't took too long with this as well. My plan was to get it done in less than an hour. Which, making it up as you go along ain't too bad, is it? Right, I'm just going to do that, yeah. You know, sometimes when you printed stuff, it curls. Now, if you don't have a printer, like I say, it'd be lovely to get the kit if you can, but if you don't, you can still make this journal. I really like that. It couldn't be any more simple, could it? But it's so nice. Right, I'm going to layer that one onto that one, and then onto that one, and then onto my book. That's how I roll. And again, for speed, I'm going to use my dry adhesive. I mean, you could turn this on front into a pocket. Just stick your hessian bit onto a bit of stiffer cardboard. So that's going to go on there. I think I want the white at the bottom, I do. And we're eyeballing this, so if it's wonky, it's wonky. What are we aiming for? Straightish. I think that's straightish. Did a grand job there. Oh, I've just knocked a jar of paper clips on the floor, that's all. I'm going to put this on here. I know it's not going to stick it, but it'll be tacky enough just to hold that in place while I do put some glue on. While the glue dries, should I say, yeah. So I'm going to use art glitter glue. I always stick fabric with it. It's not let me down yet. Put a little bit up and down. Now, if you have a sewing machine, once you put this little top a bit together, you could sew around it. That'd look nice. But again, it's not an essential. We don't all have sewing machines, do we? It's one of them. You can, if you want, if you've got. I like that. It's not straight. Is it straight-ish? It is straight-ish. Is it straight enough? I'm not quite sure if it's straight enough. Straight enough for me, people. That's straight enough for me. Bring my journal back. Yeah, I'm going to trim that. Because that's interfering with my button. And I had actually, if you noticed, I took two of the little hessian bits off. That's better. It pleases me more now it's in the middle. The fact that it's not straight, I actually quite like now. Now with this, because... Have I got any 3-in-1 left? Yeah, because my bottle of glue is now nearly empty. I'm going to crack my 3-in-1 out. I hope it's some good because I hardly ever use this. Seriously, I can't remember when I last used it. It's like Fabri-Tac, isn't it? I don't think it's going to come out at bottle, people. I think it needs thinning. That's not going to happen. So, 2 ticks while I get some more glue. And I'm back. I've grabbed this. It's high-tack fabric glue. You can see how long I've had it. It's all cracked. This should do it, no problem. Yeah. Whee. Ordinary PVA will probably do this. I'm just going to do that, because the last thing I want is for that to squidge outwards and you can see it all. So that won't look very nice, would it? It really won't, would it, Vera? Right. Oh, pop that on. Ooh. Oh, I quite like that. Is that straightish? Certainly is. Right, I'll just clean my finger. I've got my baby wipe at the ready. Now we want to put this on. I like that. Where's my? I've lost my J. I did want to put the J on the front, but I don't know if it's a bit... I don't think it stands out enough because I've gone for such a bold journal cover, such a bold colour. Oh, could we... Let me ink the edge of that and see whether I can just put that over there and see if that is gonna... I could make it stand out, make it a little bit 3D, I suppose. Maybe if I glitzed it up. I'll tell you what I have got. I've got some stickles. Or maybe I could have covered it in glossy accents, but then we're leaving basics, aren't we, and going on to fancy fodder. Whatever fancy fodder is. No, I don't like that on there. They'd have to be separate. I did want to put all 3 elements on journal cover, but I really just don't think they're going to go. I want to put that on another piece of ribbon. I'm thinking. Oh, is that enough? That could be enough, I think. What do you reckon? If I put it on, it's going to have to go in the middle at bottom, isn't it? Let's ink the edge and see. I could have put some gold on edge, but again, that's going into fancy fodder. And like I said, my take on this, back to basics, is let's use basic supplies and some basic techniques. I'm just going to pop that there. Yeah, that's going to do it. So grab the dry adhesive. I think the J is going to have to go on the inside front cover. That's going to go there. I like that. Loosen that off. Yeah, I think that's going to be my journal type. We just pop something on the end, perhaps a bell. I did get some bells out. I didn't know if I was going to have a chance to use them. Let's put... I've got these bells hanging about in my stash back from when kids used to like doing stuff. I think I may just hook one on with a bulb pin. Grab your bulb pins. Yeah, I think that'll look good. I've got a silver bulb pin. Let's use a nice shiny silver one. Have I got bells in different sizes? That's a good size bell anyway. Don't matter. Oh, there we go. And then that, if I just fold that up like so. And do that like so. Oh yeah, I like that. Those little impromptu ideas sometimes are your best ones. Oh, I like him. He's hanging out the bottom. It looks like he's some kind of bookmark, but he's not. He's just a dingly bell. Right, the J. I feel like I should use the J because it's my letter. Now, that is going to go on the inside. I'm running out of desk space now. Now, last thing we need to do, I want to strengthen this edge. And all I'm going to do for that is I'm going to take a piece of the card. Pity that's not long enough now. That would be nice, wouldn't it, on there? I could just do a piece of ribbon, I suppose. No, I want to do that because then it'll match the front. Yeah? I'm just going to cut 2 strips fold them over and just reinforce that edge. I'll cut it there. And there, because it's obviously not going to be long enough. Just fold that up a minute. We're going to fold that in half. Make sure it creases straightish. Because that is the word of the day, isn't it? Straightish. Try that way. There we go. Open that up. Then all I'll do is slide that on. Ooh, that won't cut very straight, so we'll use that side. Yeah, slide that on. We'll glue it on. And then, so one there, one there. We can have them overlapping because then it'll just make that even stronger. So again, I'm going to use my dry adhesive. I'm conscious that I've done a lot of faffing and a lot of thinking and maybe a lot of waffling. But we do like a good waffle, don't we? So I'm going to put that one on the bottom, butt it up to that edge. And then that is our edge all nice and neat. And I'm going to do the same with this one. You can do, if you've ever think, oh, that I've cut that edge a bit wrong, looks a bit rubbish, just cover it up. If you can't hide it, decorate it. Oh, they're stuck together. Please don't do that to me. Yeah, don't stick them together till you're ready. So put that up and stick it down. Rub that off there. So then we've got a nice neat edge on pocket. Last thing we need to do then is just glue along this top edge. So I'll glue that. I'll just pop a clip on. Now I'm sorry I didn't get to do any more decorating. And that's going to be perfect there, isn't it? Of course it is. Pop a bit of glue on it. We did get to use the J. I'm not the best with prompts because I just go off on my own little tangent, don't I? So, oh yeah, we're supposed to be using that J. There it goes. Yeah, there it is. We used the J. We got it in at the 11th hour, so that's it. I am going to be, during December, you'll see me decorate these pages using my box of scraps. So, thank you very much for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed that. Give it a whirl. The link is in the description where you can find links to everyone else who's taken part and to buy the kit should you wish to. So, thank you. I'll see you next time. Bye.